Hello, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Dr. Mark Foster Show. Today is Sunday, August 4th, 2013. And where is this summer going? I go back to work in about a week. A week from tomorrow, I go back to work. Then the students will join me about a week later. The summer vacation has really whizzed by. Fortunately, I accomplished quite a bit. I've written a number of new books. They are all linked from markfoster.net. If you go to markfoster.net, you'll see on that page where it lists my books. Just click on the books link and it will take you directly to that page. This program is going to be rather brief, I think. Wanted to give you my reflections on some recent events that are taking place in the Middle East, and also to share with you an experience that I had yesterday morning, which would have been Saturday morning when I woke up. First, obviously, unless you've been sleeping for a long time, you know that there is a major alert, terrorist alert, that is out. Many Western countries, including the United States, have closed various embassies. The information apparently came from a source in Yemen. It was not specific, so they don't know specifically where the threat is for, but they're being very cautious. Obviously, they don't want to make another mistake like they made last year, so rather than risk anything, they're shutting down, I think very wisely, various embassies, and hoping that in the meantime they can find out who indeed is making the threat and where they are and where the threat is located. One of the good things about this, and I heard one commentator on television suggest this, is that once you make an announcement like this, if people had any plans in mind to commit some sort of horrendous atrocity, this kind of situation may make them do a double take, may make them panic. And if they do a double take, then they may not be as cautious as they would ordinarily be. They might use more open means of communication, and in that way, hopefully, some intelligence operatives, whether working for the United States or from some other country, will be able to figure out exactly who they are and where they are intending to strike, and God willing, any horrendous atrocity might be averted. Let's just hope and pray that that is the case. But regardless, there is this threat out. Apparently there is information which is leading to some concern about traveling for the remainder of this month of August 2013, although specifically the information was addressed to today. But since today is already over in that part of the world, we may have somehow missed it, and hopefully nothing will happen. Okay, now on to the specific thing that happened to me. Ordinarily, I sleep about 7 or 8 hours a night, usually 8. I have slept longer, but not in a long time. Night before last, I slept for 10 hours, and I suddenly woke up and remembered that I had this very unusual dream. I debated inside my head whether to get up and write the thing down or whether to go back to sleep, and I decided that if I did not write it down, that most likely I would not remember it, and so I forced myself to get up and jot down some quick notes on a piece of paper. Then I laid down and went back to bed for another 90 minutes, which means I slept a total of 10 and a half hours night before last. Don't know exactly why, but I will read something, and I'm not suggesting that this is necessarily what happened. I just think it is an interesting possibility. This is a brief quotation from a book called Preparing for Contact, A Metamorphosis of Consciousness. It was written by Lisa Royal Holt and Keith Priest. Here's the quotation. Often, these missing time experiences are in fact what they appear to be. Missing time. Missing time is a very good signpost indicating contact experiences. In some of these experiences, you are not removed from the time stream physically, but your brain waves shift into another frequency while your body exists in this physical realm. After the shift, the contact experience occurs, then your brainwave frequency shifts back into that of the physical realm, and your body continues to experience chronological time. Of course, that is true in some cases. In other cases, people have literally been reported as being physically missing as well. So why was I asleep for 9 hours? Why was I still so tired that I slept for another hour and a half? I don't know. Could it be that I was not asleep during that whole period of time? Again, I don't know. But I think that those are some intriguing things to think about for me. I'll read you what I wrote in my book, which is called My Contact Emancipation. And I've discussed this book before, but I will provide a link to the book directly below the program on YouTube. Here's what I wrote. On August 3rd, 2013, I suddenly woke up after about 10 hours, following yet another conceivable contact dream. I say another because I had just discussed another one I had earlier in the year. I have not slept that long in years. Among my first thoughts later in the day was, where was I? Did I have missing time? Cognitively, I was confused, startled, and disoriented. With some reluctance, I convinced myself to get out of bed and write down my contact experience. I knew that if I did not immediately record it, I would have forgotten all or most of the vision within just a few minutes. After quickly jotting down some handwritten notes, I laid down again, and amazingly, I went back to sleep for another 90 minutes. Now, this is what I remember from the experience. A Mideast war involving Iran and perhaps other countries was imminent. I observed two military planners. One of them reminded me of a personal acquaintance from the college where I work. Although these individuals were deeply concerned over the anticipated event, they also appeared to be naive, ignorant, and even incompetent. Their sense of urgency made no sense to me. I began interrupting and challenging them. Tensions had been worse in the past. Why now? I questioned. You do not understand what is going on. The situation is very grave, one replied. So that is the experience as I remember it. Now, I know that a lot of contactees have had experiences which involved nuclear war or war in general, as well as earth changes. I know that some contactees also, when they are having their experience, will see people that remind them of individuals that they have known in their daily lives, and so the people that they are meeting with look very familiar to them. So again, I'm just throwing those thoughts out there. Again, not saying that I necessarily had something like that, but it was a very unusual experience for me, and I had tremendous sense of, I guess, comfort is a good word for it. When I woke up, I just felt very comfortable, very reassured, because I had been wondering whether in fact I had been having some experiences, or if perhaps it was just my imagination. And so I treated this as a bit of a confirmation of the fact that perhaps, yes, I have been having some type of experience, whether it is necessarily a contact experience with trans-terrestrial or extraterrestrial beings or angelic beings, I don't know. But it was interesting nonetheless. As I said, this would be a short program, so until next time, this is Dr. Mark Foster. Have a good one.